Hi, so I'm going to speak English, so I apologize for that. But I want to share with you today Teva's climate ambitions. So a couple of years ago, Teva refreshed its environmental social governance strategy. And front and center of our environmental pillar was the efforts we're making on climate action and resilience. And what we wanted to do was to set science-based targets, targets which are aligned with the Paris Climate Agreement to limit global temperature rises to well below 2 degrees Celsius and aim for 1.5 degrees Celsius, and to put an action plan to help us achieve those goals. So for our Scope 1 and 2 targets, our operational emissions, we aim to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 46% by 2030. And for Scope 3, our value chain emissions, we're aiming here to reduce our emissions by 25% by 2030. And you can see on this graph, on this slide, that we've made good progress so far. And I'm really thrilled to be able to share with you today that just last week, we've actually had these targets approved and validated by the Science Based Target Initiative, the first large company in Israel to have this achievement. And in terms of opportunities that this has brought to Teva, one of the main examples I can share with you is how it's helped us to connect our ESG strategy to our financing strategy. And an example of that would be the issuance of the world's largest sustainability-linked bond 14 months ago for $5 billion. Now, I'm sure it's not going to come as a big surprise to you if I was to say that the challenges around these ambitious targets are around Scope 3 emissions. And that's purely because we don't have that direct control over these emissions. At best, we can influence our value chain and help them to reduce their Scope 1 and 2 emissions to help us reduce our Scope 3 emissions. But fortunately, in Teva, we have a great sustainable procurement team that have put together a magnificent plan and starting to action and work with our supply chain to help us reduce our emissions. So what I would like to just conclude with is to say that I know it's daunting for companies and organizations to go out there with ambitious goals, especially around kind of greenhouse gas emission reductions. But what I can say is setting a multi-year or long-term goal really helps to focus the organization and get everyone behind you to achieve your goals. And I think the Environmental Protection Ministry's Net Zero Hour initiative is a great way for Israeli companies to just get started along the journey. So thank you very much.